Hello and welcome to another speed reviews. I just slapped my lip very weird. Okay, first of all, let's talk again about the elephant in the room, the lip. This is insane because this is the Ghost Face lip liner with the actual Ghost Face lipstick, this super gray nude that I never have an occasion to wear, and then I topped it off with Half Magic Beauty's Problem Child. I know everybody has the question, what's on my lips, right? Just kidding, I know that you are probably a bit intimidated by my eyes. This look is part of a video that you will see this week that I call Looks and Lenses. If you remember, I got 3 pairs of colored contacts from the brand Hanix, and now I just wanted to do just looks surrounding these lenses, and this one is the shade Iceland Black, and I came up with a super neutral eye look. Personally, by the way, I love this look. It's chef's kiss beautiful. But this is not the topic of the video. Today, we are doing some speed reviews. I did this already in the past, and the feedback was that the amount of products that I reviewed in that video was very good. So I have in total 18 products to talk about, mainly stuff that I have just tried in the past 3 to 4 months, kind of. 3 to 4, is that? Yeah, that is actually quite accurate. 3 to 4 months. But I don't want to put all 18 in one video, so I will do a split at 9. So 9 products today, and part 2 with the other 9 products will be up sadly next week. I think I put us next week on Tuesday because I just do have other things planned that need to go up before that. Usually I myself am not a fan of this part 1, part 2, but I also don't want you to opt out if there are too many products, so I think 9 is a nice sweet spot. Starting off with some base products, the Made by Mitchell Pore Paste. You will hear me talking about the Pore Paste on Friday again when I do my full face of Made by Mitchell, which is, by the way, this is full face of Made by Mitchell, well, except the eyes and lips, but this is the primer from Made by Mitchell that I used. I know that he came out with apparently a new primer. At least I think he does, because he kind of said it, kind of not. But the release basically is earlier to this video this week, but I'm filming it before the release, if that makes any sense. I hope it does. But the Pore Paste came out together with the Truth Tint and the Balm Concealer. And this is basically a pore filling primer, nothing more, nothing less. Very, very silicone-y, thick, and it smells like shit. Ugh. It smells like turpentine. Like, it's so bad. But the good thing is, just as soon as you apply it, as soon as you smush it on your face, the scent will go away. You are not smelling it the whole time. I'm just sniffing my fingers that I just rubbed it here into the skin, and they don't even smell like this. And now it has been like 30 or 40 seconds that I have blended this on my hand. There is no scent left, but I don't know what's in there that makes it smell so bad. Hopefully it's not turpentine itself. That would be a shame. Overall, I love this primer. It's a beautiful silicone-y primer. And if you want to have something to compare it with, honestly, I think this one is very similar to the Rare Beauty Pore Diffusing Primer. Or, let me grab some more, the Milk Pore Eclipse, but the Pore Paste is a tad bit thicker than Pore Eclipse. Is this a dupe or a better version of my beloved Tom Ford Traceless Soft Matte Primer? Absolutely not. Traceless Soft Matte is here, you know, somewhere outside the frame. And the Pore Paste, I would say, is somewhere here. I try to not include foundations because I did have a foundation roundup, but I want to talk about the Glossier Stretch Foundation. A couple weeks ago, I think 2 weeks ago, I had a Glossier full face kind of. I ordered for the very first time from Glossier, and I just did a, application test. I have used this foundation now quite some time after that video, because in the video I just was not sure how much I love it or not. And I mostly tend to not loving it because it just comes off so easy. And honestly, I still stand by this. I don't know what people love about this foundation. It looks good, it goes on nice, but it just does not stay. It's like you apply this foundation and then as soon as you do this on your face, the spot is empty, foundation has rubbed off. It is okay with powder and setting spray on top, but this does not have the longest wear time. Honestly, everybody is complaining about the Fenty Ease Drop that this wears off after 4 hours. This is worse. Honestly, I think this is worse, and I am kind of thinking about decluttering this because I really do not like this. Not so the concealer. The matching stretch concealer is absolute stunning. I love this so much. It looks insanely good on the under eyes. You can probably use it on the face too, but I just chose the shade Very Light 1. By the way, the foundation is Very Light 1 too, which is a tad bit too light for me. Oh, but the concealer, it is so creamy, so moisturizing. It is as if I apply a thin layer of eye cream. And that does it all for me. I don't even use a brightener underneath, like a color corrector. My Bobbi Brown Bisque, always forget it, the Porcelain Bisque one. By the way, can we talk about the fact that this is nearly empty? I don't use it with this because this is just so brightening on its own. I love this. If you are thinking of buying the foundation or the stretch concealer, go with the concealer. Honestly, this is the better choice. You know what? I declutter this. No, thank you. I don't want to have foundations in my collection that I just look at and be like, I don't want you. I have already talked in a powder roundup video about 2 very recently launched powders. One being the Hourglass Vanish Airbrush pressed powder. In that video, I said I like it very much, I'm very impressed by it, and I kept on using it. And honestly, the more I use it, the more I love it. This is thin. This is such a thin powder. You barely feel it on your face, but you see the effect that it has on your face because it sets the makeup. It is kind of mattifying, but it's not mattifying like the other powder that I'm going to talk about. I am fairly impressed with this powder, honestly, especially because of the thinness in here. This powder in the texture, this reminds me a lot of, let me grab it, my favorite one. This is the Sisley Phyto Poudre Compact. This is also very thin when you apply this. This is only, I think, 40-50 euro. I haven't checked the price actually. This one though is around 80. So is this one now better than my favorite pressed powder? For that decision, I definitely need some more time. We will see by the end of the year when I do the 2024 ranking if this will beat the Sisley one, but honestly, this is a very impressive powder. I just wish the packaging. So I just wish we could have not like this packaging here. I don't need that dumb puff. And I wish that this was refillable. The Natasha Denona Hy-Glam Powder Foundation. So this one is refillable. This one also comes with a puff, and if you want to use this as powder foundation, you can for sure use the puff, and then it looks really nice. I don't wear powder foundation, so I use this as a good setting powder, and I love to apply this on top of skin tints because this just adds a tad bit of coverage without being heavy. This is not a lightweight powder. This is a powder I, in my opinion, feel on the skin. So when you compare it with the Hourglass one, this is like twice the thickness, something, I don't know how to numberize that now. The shade that I'm wearing is RN1, the same I wear in the concealer, and this is very much matching on my face. Personally, my biggest critique is I would not wear this on top of a full coverage foundation. I think as soon as I pair this with, I don't know, a MAC Studio Fix or Tom Ford Architecture or Estee Lauder Double Wear, That looks insanely cakey. But on top, a lighter foundation, for example, a Made by Mitchell Truth Tint, Lisa Eldridge Skin Tint, or very light foundations like the Sisley Phytotone Nude. It says it is more medium light coverage. To me, this is nearly full coverage, but since this is a water foundation, like it is super watery and light and not so much like a classic foundation texture, this powder looks insanely good on top of this. The Trigwell Cosmetics Setting Powder. This is the shade Translucent that I have here, and I have been dribbling around Trigwell Cosmetics for quite some time. I know that they are talked about a bit on TikTok. I have seen Robert Welsh doing videos with them. And in one Beauty Bay order, I was just like, you know what, fuck it. I try this powder now because people are praising this on TikTok and I love it. Oh my God. This is probably one of the most thin powders that I have ever seen. So let me try maybe to demonstrate it. So I have a good amount here now on my hand, and now I just rub this into my skin. And I don't like to say this like, oh, it looks photoshopped, it looks filtered, but it looks filtered. This is insane. I really enjoy this powder. I do apply this with the puff, and Trigwell Cosmetics has its own puffs. Let me grab one. I do have the small puff here. I use this for loose under eye setting powders with that pointy side, and this side I use to set my face with. And first of all, the puffs, they are worth the money. And this powder too, how much does this cost? I don't know, I think it's like 16 bucks or so. It was not that expensive, but I could be totally wrong. I'm very, very happy with this. If I had to compare this to a certain formulation, I would 100% compare this to the MAC Studio Fix Pro Set and Blur. I think they are very, very similar. This one is a tad bit thinner because as soon as you open this, it dusts away. This one is just not as bad when it comes to the dusting. The one powder that a lot of people are very curious about, the new Tarte Creaseless setting powders. I have two shades. I got myself the shade Pink and I got myself the shade Lavender. Shade-wise, I prefer lavender over pink. I think pink just darkens my eye a bit, so I have to be careful with what concealer I use. If I use a concealer that is very much close to my skin tone and not so much brightening, I can't wear this, then it looks just ridiculous. The lavender one though, I can wear with every concealer. This powder comes with a puff, and as you see, I have tried the puff with the pink one. I have not used the puff with the lavender one because I personally do not like the puff. I think it's way too small, which is nice in theory, but when you then use it, it is just so much product on that puff, it's ridiculous. Today I set my under eye with the lavender one, and I don't know how much you can see, but it's just, this is filtered Photoshop. I posted a picture on Instagram in my stories, one after I applied the Creaseless powder, or did I not? I definitely posted one with 10.5 hours later, and it still looked insanely good. I do not like to say it, but honestly, I think the term creaseless is fulfilled 95% here with this powder. I just cannot say anything bad about this. Just the fact that the pink shade, in my opinion, is a bit too dark for pale people. Lavender is much, much better for this. I think more people should praise this product because this is definitely worth the try. To compare it to a very popular powder, the Huda Beauty Easy Bake powders. You know, I personally do not bake with them. I just apply them to set my makeup. I don't over apply it and then dust it off. But the texture of these is very similar, but this one is thinner. I said it. This one is thinner, and honestly, I mean, it's June 2024. There are still a couple months to go. And last year in 2023, the Huda Beauty Easy Bake and Cherry Blossom Cake made it to my favorite under eye setting powder. Honestly, lavender one is scratching the top spot because this is so good. And to be honest, since I have these, I have not touched any other under eye setting powder. First of all, because I wanted to try them with every single concealer that I have. I'm still not completely done with this, but I just covered most of the finishes and textures. This was a very good release from Tarte, and honestly, give it a try. Do it. And before we move on to the other product, I thought it might be helpful if I show you like finger swatches of these shades. So hopefully that helps deciding what shade you want to have. So I try to kind of stick the powder to my finger. So here I have the pink one and this one is the lavender one. So I hope you can see the difference quite good, but I think the pink one is just a tad bit too dark for it being so pink. I wish this was a little bit lighter. As I said, I can wear them both, but with the pink one, I just have to pay attention what concealer am I wearing. I have a bronzer to finally share my thoughts about. I said it already in my video where I talked about last year's favorite and where are they now. The RMS Beach Walk Betty bronzer is my current favorite bronzer. This is, first of all, this was a recommendation from my subscriber Lisa, because she was like, I'm pretty sure you love them. And I was like, yeah, I'm not too sure because all the shades look so weird. And she was like, well, try Beach Walk Betty. I guarantee you this will match you. And she was so freaking right. Beach Walk Betty is just such an amazing bronzer color. I love this. It is warm, but it's not too warm. It is dark, but it is not too dark. It has the tiniest shift of red going on, which makes it just so perfect for pale skin. If you have never tried this, but bronzers, when you're super pale, bronzers with pinkish and reddish undertones, they tend to look super natural on you, and Beach Walk Betty is not an exception to that. Beach Walk Betty does it. We love Betty. Try it out and thank Lisa and me later. And the last product for this part one is the Makeup by Mario Softsculpt Bronzing and Shaping Serum. The weirdest product of all time, since this has a doe foot and a pump. I have not used the pump because I just used the doe foot because I used this actually as cream bronzer, cream contour thing on my face. The shade that I'm wearing is Fair. I tried to build this up very heavy, but honestly, this is so sheer. If you are a beginner with liquid or cream bronzer / contour, before this, I would have said go with the Makeup by Mario Skin Enhancer because this is very sheer. Let me swatch it next to it. Can you see the difference between them? For fairness, I blended out the serum a bit. But do you see the difference? Well, aside from the shade, because the Skin Enhancer does not have a fair shade. I only have light as lightest one. But this one nearly goes away. Look at how sheer this blends out, while the Skin Enhancer sheers out too. Yes, but this more. This even more. When I apply this, it depends a lot on my makeup that I'm wearing. For a look like this, I wouldn't have chosen it. I haven't, so that's not a thing here. But in general, for very bold looks, I go in with 2 to 3 layers of this. For normal looks, well, in my world, normal looks, I take just one and I just slightly warm up the face. I was always questioning this sentence from other content creators. Yeah, we're going to warm up the face. And then they apply such a visible thick layer of warm bronzer. That was not warming up the face, that was boiling your face. This is the definition of warming up the face, because it is so invisible. It is there but not. It's undetectable. I cannot believe I'm seeing this, that I just really love this product so much here and that I just praise it. I think I could even go away with using light or even light medium in this, but I actually like the fair shade a lot because it is so light and I can easily manipulate it. So these are the first 9 products of my speed reviews. I hope you liked that. Let me please know down below, what is your favorite out of them? Have you tried any of them, or do you now plan to pick one of these up? Make sure you're subscribed, and if you don't know what to comment or you just do not have an opinion on this, comment random thing here. Comment no makeup wipe we had already. Comment powder puff. So thank you again. Make sure to subscribe so you do not miss part 2, and I see you in the next one.